Today's viewer question comes from Ashley. She wants to know, how hard is it to disengage from toxic people, especially with them being so close to you? And, that's a real touchy one, because you're right. Some of the people that you are closest to can become the most toxic people. One reason why is because takers can smell givers from a mile away. So when you're dealing with family, you're dealing with friends and people that's kind of close to you and they're toxic, it's more harder to deal with them and let them go because you have time invested. You have time invested, you have feelings invested, you have made a contribution and investment into that relationship. No matter how you look at it, anybody that's close to you, everything is relationship based, right? So when you're dealing with people that's toxic and that's close to you, but that is hard, but that's going to be the exact people that you actually do need to let go of, because you got to audit your circle daily. People that's toxic, and again, people that's distracted, they're only going to give you another place to be distracted at. And if they're giving you another place to be distracted and they're leading with toxicity, they always have somebody else's name in their mouth, they're gossiping, or they just being, everybody know what toxicity looks like, they're gaslighting and so forth. Then, you got to audit your circle. It's imperative, because you know what? You owe it to yourself. At the end of the day, you owe it to yourself to make these adjustments and to audit your circle, and then to create a more positive circle based around your like-minded individuals and your ideologies, your thought process, your morals, your standards. And then you have to curate around that. Now, that could be very hard when you're dealing maybe with children that's toxic, so when you're dealing with maybe a child that's toxic, that's a little bit different, right? Because we can't just cut them off, right? So when dealing with a child that is toxic and that you got to kind of cut them off, to me, that just sounds like tough love. Again, you don't, just because you had a child does not mean that you deserve to be in the middle of toxicity and have to deal with their toxicity, right? You should hope for the best and hopefully just give them some information and that they can start to self-correct the toxicity that's in them, and then it don't spoil over into you and your family and everything that you guys have going on in that our building. So it's really hard to deal with people that's toxic, but at the end of the day, you gotta just, you gotta put yourself first. You gotta put yourself first, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You gotta put yourself first, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be dead a lot longer than you are alive. So while you're here, you gotta utilize the time. What are you doing with your time? Are you spending it with people that are toxic? Are you gonna start spending time with people that are like-minded like you and have the same morals and so forth? So my solution to that, and how hard it is, audit your circle.